Welcome back to Switch to Linux. This is the weekly news roundup, the privacy edition. These are recorded live 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. You can join us live over there for the discussion or just come on into these shorter ones. So today we are highlighting private internet access as our affiliate for today. If you are in need of a VPN, then definitely check out private internet access. These guys do not keep logs, and you can keep, somebody actually had said that they had upped it to a few more devices. I'm still going by whatever is listed on here, which I think is 5 or 6. I can't remember. You can have multiple devices attached to your PIA account. I actually have one that I use and a friend of mine uses as well because he travels a little bit more, so I mostly bought it for him so he can check it out with coffee shops and places like that. So if you are in need of a VPN, definitely check out my link there, which is tlm.li/PIA. With that, let's go ahead and jump on into the privacy news. And first, it is about time. Such wonderful, amazing news. Germany bans, now it wasn't just Office 365, they banned any cloud service for use in schools. So Germany schools are not allowed to go in and sign up all of your students for Microsoft or Google accounts or Apple accounts or any type of cloud account, citing privacy concerns that data is actually accessible. This is something we absolutely need in the United States. It should be absolutely 100% against the law for any school district to take my child's data and give it to Google or give it to Microsoft without my express written consent. And the reality is, as Google and as Microsoft are pushing all of these accounts, the school district is giving you. Now, if I create a Google account, I might fudge the birthday. I might do something, might not give them my full name. I might give them an alternate spelling. When the school district does it, they just carte blanche, have it all! And it's just like, that is so frustrating because now Google can track, and who is to say they're not taking all of this data they're collecting on all of our children and using this for studies, evaluating the emotional and the psychological and the internet pattern use of kids. And when we start seeing research articles coming out in a decade saying we have tracked the internet usage of kids through anonymized data to see the types of things that children look through, all of this, that is your data, your children's data, things that you did not specifically consent to, and now they're being used for scientific research, and that is completely immoral, that is completely unethical, and this entire concept of signing up everybody's kids, giving them your full name, giving them your birthday, giving them anything they want should be absolutely against the law. And frankly, maybe we just need to EMP all their servers to get rid of all the data. Don't do that. That's bad. But the reality is Germany has come down and said, hey, this is problematic, and we want to make sure that that we're not just carte blanche handing this data out to all of these school systems, to standing out our students' data out, because what ends up happening is like, oh, hey, free data storage, free email, free this, free that, free whatever. Of course, they link your computers into it. So the one kid that I know, the school district out here in State College, his own private laptop, they're like, oh yeah, just do this and just do this. And before he knew it, everything on his computer, his own personal computer that he bought with his own personal money, was going through the school's network. Everything he was doing, even at home, not connected to school, was going through the school's network. That means everything he was doing on his own personal computer that he bought with his own money was being tracked and monitored by the school. We never figured it out until he calls me up and he's like, hey, I can't get on the internet. I go over and have a look at his computer. I figure this thing out. I'm like, really? The problem is that there was a slight Google outage and the school's network went down. He didn't not even know that everything he was doing on his computer was being logged by his school. That's how bad this is. So kudos to Germany. We need more of this type of stuff going on. But, speaking of Microsoft and scary stuff, Microsoft is now allowing Alexa to dig deeper and deeper into Windows 10. You will not get Alexa out. You will not get Alexa out. Hey, Alexa, owner unicorn meat, confirm. All right, so let me know how that unicorn meat sounds, anybody who has an Alexa device running. So basically, Microsoft is allowing Alexa to integrate further into Windows 10. And the changes are going to be coming later on this year. So basically, we'll have Cortana in there. We will have Alexa in there. Hey, let's just go ahead and cram all of them in there so all of these guys can collect all this data. And we, of course, all know that Alexa collects data even when the wake word is not used, right? So now if you are speaking within the vicinity of any computer running Windows 10, it is conceivably possible that Amazon is collecting that data, whether or not you have approved that or not. Interesting. Now, of course, that computer would have to have the Alexa stuff installed, but nevertheless, this is too much stuff. Oh, man. It was so good to see somebody out there talking about privacy policies, and I saw about everybody out there. Faceapp. Why did it take some Russian company to go, oh my God, the Russians are stealing all of our data? Guys, this privacy policy is nothing different than anything else you're doing. All right, we need to stop looking at Russia and looking at China as the boogeyman and start looking at the big companies as the boogeyman instead, because all this stuff they're doing, this is nothing compared to what Google's doing. This is nothing compared to what Facebook is doing. This is nothing compared to what all these big companies are doing. But this one's from Russia. Oh my God. Now, is this still, this is still something I would not use. I still completely advocate it. I'm just glad that one of these apps hit the news this week that maybe we'll wake up a few more people to flip through privacy policies, because you look at what's in this privacy policy, it's the same stuff as everywhere. So, of course, this app, what you are doing is, the idea behind this app is you take a picture of it, of yourself, and you upload it to their cloud server, and on the cloud infrastructure, it will show you what it looks like, or what you look like when, 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 100 years. Yes, Mr. Faceapp, show me what I'm going to look like as the Crypt Keeper in 100 years. And so that's kind of what the app is doing. So this raised some concerns because, it's a Russian startup. And then some people were saying that they were collecting all of your data. Security researchers actually said, no, that's probably not the case. But the reality is, no, this is not the type of app we need, guys. This is not something we should be using. But I'm at least glad that somebody's out there talking about privacy policies of some of these apps, because all of the apps are like this. And it doesn't matter if the company is Russian, or if the company is American, or the company is German. We don't need to be giving this type of data to all these big companies. There's a few companies you may want to give some select data to, but the reality is we need to think about it. I didn't really want to spend any more time on Faceapp. It's just like, you guys heard a lot of it this week probably if you were watching any of this stuff. Don't be using this for sure. But at the same time, man, this is par for the course. There's no news here. This is par for the course. Ooh, the Russian boogeyman's going to get my data instead. So what? I'm less concerned if the Russian boogeyman gets my data than if the NSA gets my data. And the NSA, we already know, is getting my data. So the Russian boogeyman, for me, I don't really care. What do you guys think? Let me know. Oh boy. Dropbox was in the news this week. So Dropbox, they said, hey, we're testing out a new application, and whoopsies, they accidentally pushed this application to a whole lot of users. And the point of this article is that these applications install themselves and do auto updates and auto upgrades. Guys, I used to have Telegram on this computer, but I uninstalled Telegram and I won't use it anymore because it auto updates itself and it does not give me the ability to turn that off. This is what the biggest concern. It's not that they changed something. It's the fact that without any user's consent, Dropbox automatically updated itself. And of course, we have all been so conditioned, like sheeple, to auto update. There's an update. We gotta get the updates, install the updates. Guys, slow down a little bit. Appropriate internet use is what you need to do to mitigate most of your security concerns. Now, you should not be running around with Windows XP or something, but just because there's an update does not mean you automatically have to install it. There are feature updates and there are security updates, and I would love to see them separated. That is why I like Debian. That is why I like Linux Mint. That is why I like these family of of systems because I get the security updates without getting new features. I don't want the features to change. All right. But when we start installing these applications, of course, Windows is automatically doing it. You don't have a choice. Now, Dropbox, they're automatically updating your software. You don't have a choice. That's why I don't use Dropbox. Okay, I've known this has been a shady company for half of a decade. I won't touch Dropbox. Anytime I have clients like, oh, here's my Dropbox, and they send it to me, I gotta click the link. Oh, so on into Dropbox, I have to email them back, guy. You need to send me the link that I don't have to log in because I don't have a Dropbox account, nor am I creating a Dropbox account because they do shady things like this. So they were basically updating the client software. Now they said that this update was an accident, but the point is they didn't mean to release this version of the software, but the point is they can still push updates and software things to your system anytime they want. Remember the video from yesterday with the browser extensions? This is the problem with the browser extensions, okay, is that you would install it, it wouldn't do anything. It'd sit there in a sleep or silent mode for several weeks there, and then all of a sudden it'd do a background auto update and start sending out all of your data to odd and obscure places, and then everything you did was publicly available. This is a big concern. Definitely a big concern. All right. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. USPS. Brand new service in USPS. For an extra fee, you can create your USPS account and you can see a picture of the front of your mail before it arrives. Excuse me, what? Well, they said, hey, as your mail goes through, we're scanning all the mail anyway. So, in other words, guys, in case you didn't know they were doing this, USPS keeps a log of, basically, this is your metadata, okay? It's like the phone call. The phone company can tell who I'm calling. They can tell me how long I'm calling them for. They can't necessarily tell me the content of that conversation. All right, so in this case here, USPS does much the same thing. They know who's sending mail to whom, and they're actually keeping images of all this. They're literally keeping an image of the front end of everything that comes to your box. Scan, 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 scan. They're keeping records of all of this data. It's basically the metadata. This is the data that is allowing them to see who you're communicating with. They're like, we already have this stuff. How can we monetize this? I got a great idea for brain dead sheep. Let's start selling it as a service. You can log into the account, and when new mail is scanned in, it'll show up in your account now. So I can log into the account, and I can see who's sending me mail. I cannot think of a circumstance why this would be important. Another hacking vector? Can you not wait until the post gets here at 3 o'clock? Ooh, I'm waiting for a letter. Oh, you found out about 4 hours earlier that it's getting here. But I don't know. But anyway, they are now pushing this service where you can sign up and actually pay money to get a scanned image of the front of your mail before your mail arrives. I don't get it. Someone explain this to me like I'm 4-year-old because I don't understand the purpose of this. But the point is, USPS is scanning and keeping digital copies of everything that comes into your mailbox. Man, maybe I might have to rethink this whole idea of digital delivery. Just make sure you're delivering stuff to your own domain name. Just don't deliver your stuff to Google because they're doing the same thing too. Guys, this is mass data collection. This is crazy. Oh boy. But all of this crazy news is nothing compared to Elon Musk. Elon Musk has a new company coming out, and this is called Neuralink. This is interesting. So, of course, if you followed Elon Musk, you know that he's kind of he's been an advocate of this cyborginess. If we don't become cyborgs, then we're going to be outpaced by our technology. Maybe we need to put the brakes on our technology. But, hey, this is his company. So, and what I thought of this is very interesting. If you are a younger person and from a Christian background, you might be aware of the Christian radio series for kids called Adventures in Odyssey. What's interesting, keep this in mind. Adventures in Odyssey, it was volumes, I think it was volumes 34 to 38. They did a 4-volume mini-series on Novacom. I'm going to get back and tell you what the Novacom series is about in a minute, but let's talk about this article. So what he wants to do is, of course, he started out with PayPal, and he's doing the Tesla, and he's doing the SpaceX. Now he wants to do Neuralink. So this is a neurotechnology company that pretty much nobody really knew anything about. So the company is developing a device to implant inside the brain that will supposedly allow people to control computers and other devices with their mind. At the announcement, Musk said the company's on track to begin testing the implants in human patients as soon as next year. In one sense, what Musk is describing during Neuralink's debate sounds dazzling. Threads thinner than human hair robotically inserted into the brain via skull hole bored by a laser that does not yet exist. The threads, according to Neuralink's leadership, will be less likely to cause internal damage and able to transmit far more information than rigid implants currently available that allow people with physical disabilities to interact with computers. Once perfected, he says it would achieve symbiosis with artificial intelligence. Now, so basically he is developing a company where they can put an implant into your brain by which you can control a computer by thinking about it. Interesting. So if you go back and find that Adventures in Odyssey series called Novacom, the Novacom series, in fact, I think you can actually go online and find a single collection of just the Novacom series. It is absolutely worth getting and listening to, even if you're not a Christian or if you're not a kid. Because the Novacom series was this evil company, of course, a children's program. The idea is they were doing a radio wave study. And in the radio wave study, they wanted to convert they wanted to convert brain waves to radio waves so that you could power computers, you could power light switches, you could power all these devices by thinking about it. Now, of course, the evil corporation, the chairman, whom we've never learned the identity of in all of the Odyssey series, the chairman who was behind the Novacom company, really was interested in reversing the process of converting radio waves to brain waves for the purpose of controlling the mass population. So in other words, what this children's series did, and I actually think this series first came out starting about 15 or 20 years ago, people. 15 or 20 years ago. This children's series tackles this issue of an evil corporation taking people over by converting radio waves to brain waves. Now, 15 years later, Elon Musk wants to popularize cyborgs and wants to talk about putting in brain implants by which we can control computers and devices. The very pretense that this Novacom series used to do their research, to turn it all around and use it for mass mind control. I don't want implants in my head that are in symbiosis with AI. That to me sounds like a recipe for utter disaster. What do you guys think about all this? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget you can support the channel with the links in the description down below, and check out the link for private internet access if you are in need of a VPN.